Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the Love Coach, and we are meeting for day 3 of our 30-day series, Relationship with Yourself. And today we are talking about how do you see yourself? So last time we talked about how you think about yourself. Today we are talking about how do you see yourself? Most of the time, our self-image is dependent on how other people see us. So I would invite you to take a pause, take a deep breath, and kind of like, just sit back or maybe take a step back and just look at yourself. How do you see yourself? Do you truly see yourself in all the potential that you have? Or do you think you don't have what it takes to do whatever you want to do? Or you don't really deserve whatever desires or goals or wishes you have in your life? This is where the more honest you become, the easier it would be to go through that. Most of us, even in self-development, even myself, most of us, we get stuck in this place where we think highly of ourselves, but we don't truly think highly of ourselves. We don't truly see ourselves deserving of what we truly desire. So what end up happening? We keep sabotaging ourselves. Um, we get ahead a little bit. We go take a step forward. We take two step backward. We keep going in a hamster wheel circle, and everything starts to feel a little frustrating. So it might be harder for you to do it within you. So let's put it outside of you. Let's say you have a really good friend, maybe your best friend. And now just look at that person. How do you see them? Do you truly see them with all the wonderful qualities that they have, or do you see them with the resentment or the judgment you have against them? We're just going to put aside, I want to be honest with myself. I want to be honest with them. I just want to look at my flaws. I don't want to get too far ahead into my good qualities. I want to stay humble. We are putting all of that on the side. We are just in a neutral container analyzing our relationship with ourselves. So now look at that other person in your relationship with them. How do you see them? What is it that you notice about them as you look at them? And are there any things where you kind of judge them, but you're like, it's not my place to judge them. You're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, or you're just trying to suppress those feelings because that is something that happened last year. You don't want to talk about it. That right there is the misalignment between your relationship with them, like, the relationship thread that you have, there is a misalignment. When there are things there that are not so bright and light, and you're not addressing them, you're hiding them, your friend feels that energy. Your friend knows something is off unconsciously. They cannot put a finger on it, and you will find it hard for you to be truly close to each other. Now, that exists between friends, between parents and child, that exists between partners, um, that exists between you and you. When you're not willing to be honest with yourself, how you truly see yourself? What are the things that you focus when right away we put you in front of you? Does your mind right away go to all the flaws that you have? Does your mind right away go to all the wonderful things that you have? And just stay neutral. This conversation is not about fixing anything, working on it. This conversation is just becoming aware. Because when you become aware of something, 50% of the work is already done. Creating a change is so much easier if we are approaching it from a place of honesty. If you're not willing to be honest with yourself, or if you just stay on the surface and everything is, rainbow and unicorn and roses, and you never even get to the deeper layers, that what's really going on within me? How is it that I see myself? If you're not willing to go to those deeper layers, you're not truly going to become one with the true self that is within you, that is your soul. you would always have a gap between the soul and the ego. If you are somebody who wants to, finish that gap or make that gap shorter, it requires being very honest with yourself. So just take a moment again, put yourself in front of you, take a step back. What is the first thing that pops up to you? What is something that you immediately are like, that's what I see in myself? I'll be very honest with you. When I put myself in front of me, the one thing that right away pops up to me is I put a deadline and then I don't really meet that deadline all the time. Can we fix that? Like that is something that pops up right away. If I am willing to be that honest with myself, now I get to do the work to bridge that gap, to minimize that gap. But if I keep telling myself, well, I put 10 things on my to-do list, only one I didn't get done, so what? What's the big deal? Or if I just keep saying, I want to be just positive, I want to look at the 90% of the things I did, this 10% is going to keep pulling me down. It's not a place where we judge ourselves, we try to make ourselves feel bad. It's a place where we want to align ourselves. We want to make sure there's no gaps left in between where you can fall down. There's nothing pulling at you. We are working on aligning with our truest self. We are working on strengthening our relationship with ourselves. Would you like to be friends with somebody who doesn't really see you in a 100% of good light, but they keep pretending that they are your friend, right? We wouldn't want that. Yeah, if we don't know it, then we would stay friends with them. But once you know it, that this person is not who you think they are, they say one thing, but in the hindsight, like in the back of their mind, they don't really think you're 100% a good person. You got a lot of flaws going on, and they really wish they can change you. Once we know that, it's very hard for us to stay friends with that person. At least something shifts in the relationship. We are trying to do exactly the same thing between your relationship with yourself. We want to take out that pretending, the pretend that we do because we want to be positive. We want to look at ourselves with a positive light, or like everything is perfect. Good job, everything is perfect. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to take your first step when you're trying to get yourself out of a mud pie or a mud field. It's very good. But once you go further and you want to strengthen that relationship so you don't end up in the ditch again, or even if you do, you can pull yourself out faster. If you want to work on that, that requires being honest. How do I see myself? And then you ask yourself, why do I see myself that way? Why do I focus on that thing right away? For example, I can share with you if my mind went to right away, hey, this one project, you haven't finished it on time yet, that time that you said, because that's tied to trust. Now I know my inner being wants me to have a stronger trust within me. No judgment. What can I do to build that trust? Is it that I am putting too much on my plate and then I'm not getting chance to finish it? And I can go into a whole rabbit hole why I'm doing that in my behavior, right? It gives us the opportunity to have an open dialogue with ourselves. No relationship can get anywhere if the communication is not happening, if open dialogues are not happening, if people are not talking, they don't really have a relationship. We cannot have relationships by never talking to each other and just assuming we both are good. That's not how human relationship works. Because a relationship is alive, it's expanding, it's growing, it's changing, the same as your relationship with yourself. If you're truly serious about staying aligned within you, So anything that happens in your surrounding can't really get to you if that is the goal that you have in your life. The key is a very, very, very strong relationship with yourself. When things are good at home, outside chaos cannot impact it. And today we talked about only this one tiny aspect of your relationship with yourself. How do you see yourself? Allow yourselves to be honest. Write down those things. You might have 50 things that you see in yourself. And then ask yourself, which one of these do I want to work on? Why am I so focused on me not getting places on time? Why am I so focused on maybe not going to the gym on time or being lazy? Why am I focused on those things? Most likely because that is what's important to you. That is what's aligned with your values, and you are living in misalignment with your values. That is the fastest way we lose our power. That is the fastest way we lose our internal energy, internal power. And then we feel very drained and we don't feel like we can really get anywhere. So allow that conversation to happen naturally within you. Give yourself a goal or maybe a task to work towards. Oh, so this is what I want to work on. And why do you want to work on it? And then continue doing that work. When you will go in that direction, you would realize and you would notice that something is shifting within you. Something is becoming so solid within you. That is the telltale sign your relationship with yourself is shifting, it's becoming stronger. So, my friend, that is all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another small aspect of your relationship with yourself. If so far this is something that resonates with you, you want to go deeper, you want to take out all the cobwebs, and you truly want to heal your relationship, you can go to my website, aliajamalcoaching.com. You can book a consultation. I would love to be your guide on this beautiful journey of you coming home to yourself. I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.